Hi and welcome to Jawad's Academy. Today's lesson is about derivative of trigonometric functions tan x. Y equals tan x. The derivative of tan x would be, so we write y prime equals secant squared x. That's what the derivative of tan x. And some of us is probably wondering, how come the derivative of tan x as secant squared x, which is a valid question. So let's prove why the derivative of tan x as secant squared x. Let me write tan x in the form of sine x over cos x, because tan x is sine x over cos x. It's one of the trigonometric identities. Then, in order to find the derivative of this and to prove that it's secant squared x, we apply quotient rule. If you remember, quotient rule was f prime g subtract g prime f over g squared, meaning that you're taking the derivative of the top multiplying by the bottom, subtract the derivative of the bottom multiplied by the top over the bottom square. That's quotient rule. So f of x will represent here sine x and g of x will represent cos x. Now to apply quotient rule, so y prime would be, so I'm going to push this a little bit up to get more room and for you to see. So the derivative of sine x, we said it's cos x. And multiplying by the bottom, which is cos x, subtract. Now the derivative of the bottom multiplies by the top. The derivative of the bottom is negative sine x, multiplies by the top, which is sine x, over g squared, which is cos to the power of 2. We square the bottom. Now we're going to simplify. So y prime would equal to cos x times cos x as cos squared x. Negative times negative is positive. Sine x times sine x would be sine squared x all over cos squared x. Right? Now we know that cos squared x plus sine squared x is another trigonometric identities, which would be 1. 1 over cos squared x. Now, to flip this becomes what? What's the reciprocal of cos squared x? Would be secant squared x. Now, and you can see now that we proved that the derivative of tan x as secant squared x, where we have to apply quotient rule. But before that, we have to convert tan x to sine over cos, then applying quotient rule. So it's not that really hard to understand. And I'm glad that I showed you why the derivative of tan x is secant squared x, because we do not want to memorize to why the derivative of something is something else. And it's good to understand the reason behind it, to why the derivative of this is that. Sounds good? So I'm going to leave it right here. And please don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any question or concern or comments, you can leave it below in the comment box and I should be able to answer your questions. Other than that, please practice a few times and apply to your questions from the textbook. And I'm hoping that you're going to do well for sure. If you did watch this video, I'm sure you're going to do well. And so wish you all the best and good luck.